Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into NB12, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, forecasters say all islands of the Bahamas should prepare for tropical storm activity, which could bring widespread flooding this week. DNA leader Branville McCartney says despite issues within the FNM, he's not going back. Plus, nation builders are honored. We've got those stories and so much more coming up. I'm Paige McCartney, and NB12 starts right now. Welcome once again to NB12. That tropical depression, which formed in the Caribbean this morning, has now strengthened to Tropical Storm Sandy. Meteorologists continue to monitor the system, which poses a threat to the Bahamas and other Caribbean countries. Sandy is said to be 395 miles south-southwest of Kingston, Jamaica tonight, packing maximum sustained winds of 40 miles per hour. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean says the tropical storm could impact the entire chain of islands between Thursday and Sunday. Vonique Toot reports.
It's going to be a long, rough ride over the weekend for us, it appears.
As meteorologists keep a close eye on this system, they're warning Bahamians to brace themselves for tropical storm force winds. Tropical Storm 18 formed south of Jamaica this morning and strengthened to Tropical Storm Sandy this afternoon. Heavy rainfall could pose a significant threat to the Bahamas, eastern Cuba, Jamaica, and Hispaniola. According to the National Hurricane Center, a tropical storm watch is in effect for Jamaica and Haiti. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean says the system could negatively impact the southeast, central, and northwest Bahamas later this week.
Looking at the computer models this morning, it suggests that we could start getting tropical storm force winds in the southeast Bahamas as early as Thursday morning, and that will gradually spread into the central Bahamas. And by late Thursday going into Friday, tropical storm force winds could possibly affect the northwest Bahamas as well. However, we will sort of wait and see what happens as it crosses over eastern Cuba and see how much of an impact that will have in terms of it weakening.
Dean says there is a possibility Tropical Storm Sandy will weaken as it passes over the mountainous terrain of Cuba. Failing that, he says we're in for tropical storm force winds. The chief meteorologist warns it could be a slow-moving system, which
is something we really do not like. But again, that is what we faced with, and it seems as though we will be under those conditions, as I said, starting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it wouldn't be until about Sunday thereabout before we are somewhat out of the clear.
Dean encourages residents to monitor the system's progress.
We're asking residents to pay close attention, stay tuned to your radio and television stations for the latest update. And as we are going into a weekend, we want persons to ensure that they would have taken all the necessary actions to protect their property and also to secure any non-perishable food items in the event we have to be locked down for any period of time.
The Met Office has not issued any advisories thus far. However, Dean says they could issue an advisory for the southeast Bahamas by tomorrow morning. Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonique Toot.
And in other news tonight, despite reports of division within the Free National Movement, leader of the Democratic National Alliance, Branville McCartney, says he still has no intention of returning to that troubled party. Tension is said to be running high among party leaders following the FNM's devastating defeat in the North Abaco by-election and controversial comments made by leader Dr. Hubert Minnis. McCartney says all is not lost for the FNM, though, and he believes the party can bounce back. However, he does not plan to play a role in the rebuilding process. Right now, he says his focus is on his own political party.
That is not something I have considered right now. I've considered how the DNA is going to move forward. I've considered how we will contest the next election. I've considered the way the country is moving. I've considered what this government is doing, and I've considered the concerns of where the opposition is, the official opposition. I've considered all of that. In terms of going to the AFNM, that is not a consideration that I have at this time.
The DNA leader says his party plans to hold a convention at which time members will decide if they want him to continue as leader. McCartney's once served as the Minister of State for Immigration in the Ingram administration. However, he resigned from that position and eventually severed ties with the FNM. He told MB12 he agrees with Dr. Minnis, who declared last week that the Ingram era is over.
That should have happened some time back. But I think it's time for them to move forward, move on. It's certainly not. I read and I see a lot of things, people saying that, they're in disarray and what have you, but those things happen in parties. It happened to the PLP. This is nothing new. And the PLP came back and won the election in 2002. So all is not lost, in my view, in regards to the FNM. It is very significant that the FNM stand strong, though, because they are the official opposition.
And a little later in news, we'll tell you what the DNA leader had to say about the controversy in the PLP. But meantime, leaders of the Free National Movement appear to be trying to move on from internal feuding and are now criticizing the government for hiring even more foreign consultants, this time to audit tourism spending and subsidies. In a press statement, FNM Chairman Darren Cash said every Bahamian accountant, finance, tourism, and marketing professional should be alarmed and outraged by the decision. Prime Minister Perry Christie has said the audit was necessary because he felt tourism officials had made some questionable marketing decisions in recent years in a bid to help companies hit hard by shrinking tourist arrival numbers. He feels government has not gotten its money's worth and needs to change how they proceed in the future. But when we interviewed Cash today, he said the decision to go out of the country and import foreign talent for the project is an insult and does not demonstrate confidence in Bahamians.
If there's anything that came out of the last general election, it was that there is this enormous sense of confidence that exists among young Bahamians. And in that number, I include the growing number of Bahamian professionals who want to be a part of every aspect of our development. They have tremendous concerns about the order of society, the things that we do in government, and they want to be a part of it. We get that as an opposition, and certainly the Bahamian people voted for Mr. Christie's government because they thought Christie was committed to it. And as we've outlined in the statement, everything that we've seen since the general elections suggests otherwise, and we're calling on Mr. Christie to put up or shut up, plain and simple.
Cash said no action taken by this government appears to have merit unless validated by a foreign consultant. Cash said he doesn't believe the Prime Minister is suggesting that there was any wrongdoing, and he actually supports what the government is seeking to do, just not how it's being done.
I don't get the impression that the Prime Minister was suggesting frivolous spending. I think he is raising a legitimate concern, which is that as time passes, every administration, new or old, ought to take a critical look at where monies were spent to make sure that given the current environment, you're making the right decisions about how to allocate scarce resources. The case we're making is for Mr. Christie to engage Bahamians to do this work. I mean, as soon as you use the term audit, as soon as you use the phrase analysis, you're playing in the backyard that many Bahamian professionals can play in and do so at international standards. So there's no reason for anyone other than the Bahamian professionals engaged to do this work to be contracted.
And the opposition wants the government to make public the scope of that audit, release the name and principles of the firm, terms of engagement, fees to be paid, and whether any Bahamian firms have been engaged as a part of that audit. The government has previously also hired a UK-based consultancy group to advise on gaming changes within the country.